Welcome back to a new video from All Plus ESL. In today's video, we're going to practice one of the most important parts of English grammar, the past tense. But instead of memorizing long lists of verbs, we're going to hear the past tense in action and use it through real, natural conversations. You'll listen to 3 dialogues between 2 students in an ESL class as they complete an assignment about past tense topics. This way, you can see how the past tense works in everyday situations, not just in textbooks. In each conversation, the students pick a new topic from the list. Things like talking about their weekend, describing a special or favorite day, and sharing a time they learned something new. As they talk, they use regular past tense verbs, irregular past tense verbs, frequency words, and intensity expressions, all in a natural, realistic way that you can learn from and copy in your own speaking. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand the past tense more clearly and you'll feel more confident using it in your own speaking. All right, let's jump into conversation 1 where Samir and Luna are sitting together in their ESL classroom to work on their assignment. Their teacher has just asked the class to practice dialogues using the past tense. In this first conversation, Samir and Luna use primarily the past tense of regular verbs. Let's listen.
So, the teacher said we need to choose a topic from the list he provided.
Yeah, we can talk about our weekend, a special day, or a vacation. What do you want to start with?
Maybe we should start with something easy.
I agree. How about the weekend?
Perfect. We always have something to say about our weekends.
True. Okay, let's start our dialogue.
Okay, I'll start by asking you first. How was your weekend?
It was really good. I visited my cousins on Saturday. We usually hang out at their place, but this time we played board games at a coffee shop near my house.
Oh, nice. I rarely play board games, but I always enjoy them when I do. I cleaned my apartment in the morning, and then I watched a new comedy movie.
Sounds relaxing. Did you like it?
Yeah, I really liked it. The story started a little slowly, but it became very funny near the end. I completely forgot about my stress.
That's great. After the coffee shop, my cousins and I walked around the neighborhood. We often do that when the weather is nice. We talked for hours and enjoyed the sunshine.
That sounds perfect. I sometimes do that with my parents. Actually, I visited them on Sunday. We cooked dinner together and listened to music. It was really peaceful.
I love that. I usually stay home on Sundays, and this weekend was no different. I finished some chores. I washed my clothes, organized my room, and prepared my meals for the week.
Wow, you were super productive. I needed to do that too, but I decided to rest instead. I was only a little tired, but I wanted a break.
Honestly, that's smart. You worked very hard last week.
True, but overall, I had a really nice weekend.
Same here. It felt somewhat short, but I can't complain because I enjoyed it a lot.
Great job with conversation 1. Now our 2 students are moving on to the next topic from their assignment. In this conversation, they'll talk about a special or favorite day, and although you will hear some regular verbs, they will focus mainly on using irregular past tense verbs. Let's listen to how they use these verbs naturally in their dialogue.
Our first dialogue turned out really well. I liked how we focused on the regular past tense verbs.
Same here. It felt smooth. So, what should we choose next from the list?
We still have a special day, a vacation, and a funny moment.
They all sound good. Which one do you feel like talking about?
Honestly, I want to talk about a special day. I had one recently, and it's a story worth sharing.
Great. Let's go with that. I'm ready. So, what made this day so special for you?
It started when my childhood best friend came to visit me. We grew up together, but we lost touch for almost 8 years.
8 years? That's huge.
I know. We went to different schools, and life just got complicated. But last month, she sent me a message out of nowhere. We set a date to meet, but she actually showed up a day early and caught me completely off guard.
That must have felt unreal.
It really did. When I saw her, I felt this rush of emotion. We held on to each other for a long time and then sat down to talk.
What did you two do after that?
We went back to our old neighborhood and ran into places we hadn't seen in years. We told stories, shared memories, and brought up things we totally forgot about.
That sounds powerful.
It was. Later, we ate dinner at the restaurant we loved as kids. The food took us right back to our childhood.
I love that.
Me too. The whole day became this beautiful reminder of how strong our friendship still is. It honestly turned into one of my favorite days ever. So, what about you? Do you have a special day you want to talk about?
I do. Mine happened last year when my brother graduated from college.
Oh, wow. That must have been emotional.
It really was. My brother fought through so many challenges growing up. He fell behind in school, struggled with learning, and almost gave up more than once.
That sounds tough.
It was. But then he met a professor who saw his potential and took him under her wing. Everything changed after that.
That's incredible.
When he walked across the stage, my whole family stood up and burst into cheers. He cried, my mom held his hand, and I almost lost it too.
I can imagine.
After the ceremony, we went out together and spent the whole evening celebrating him. It felt like a victory for all of us.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that day stayed with me. It's one I'll never forget.
Now that they've practiced irregular verbs in the last conversation, our students, Samir and Luna, are ready for their final topic. In conversation 3, they'll talk about a time they learned something new, and this time they'll use a combination of regular and irregular past tense verbs to tell their stories. Let's see how they put everything together.
Okay, that special day conversation turned out really nice.
Yeah, it felt meaningful. So, what should we choose for our last topic?
We still have a vacation, a funny moment, and a time you learned something new.
I kind of like the last one.
Same. I can talk about when I first learned English.
Perfect. And I can talk about learning to drive. Let's do it.
So tell me about the first time you drove a car.
Oh man, it went terribly at first. I sat in the driver's seat and my dad gave me this serious look like we were about to fly a plane.
That sounds intense.
It was. I started the car, but I hit the curb almost immediately.
Oh no, really?
Yep. My dad grabbed the door and held it like we were falling off a cliff.
I can't believe it.
Then I turned the wheel too fast and almost ran over a trash can.
That's funny.
But after a few tries, I got the hang of it. I became more confident, and by the end of the day, I actually drove around the whole neighborhood.
That's awesome. Learning to drive is always a wild experience.
Okay, your turn. What was it like when you first learned English?
Honestly, it felt impossible at the beginning. I heard people speaking so fast and I thought, I will never understand this.
I felt the same way.
One time I said, I'm boring instead of I'm bored, and the whole class laughed.
I did that too.
I made so many mistakes. I spoke with the wrong pronunciation, I wrote words backwards, and I took forever to understand simple sentences.
But you improved a lot.
Yeah, little by little things became easier. I met patient teachers, I found good study methods, and I kept practicing.
And now you sound great.
Thanks. Learning English gave me confidence. It's one of the best things I ever did.
Same here. We really came a long way.
And that's it for today's video. You just listened to 3 natural conversations that showed how the past tense works in real life. Not through memorizing long lists, but by hearing the verbs in context and using them in meaningful situations. This is exactly how you build confidence and fluency. If you want to keep improving your speaking, try choosing one of the topics from the assignment in this video and create your own short dialogue or story. You can also check the description below for even more topic ideas. I've added a downloadable PDF with 10 past tense conversation topics you can practice anytime. The more you practice, the more natural your past tense speaking will become. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a new English lesson. And I'd love to hear from you. Share your own past tense sentence or short story in the comments. I always read them, and it's a great way to practice your English. Finally, as I always say, remember that progress in language learning comes from consistent practice. Even a little bit every day can make a big difference. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.